What up, shit? Timu's here. Now, here's my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10 and 20 this week. All right, the films that, holy cow, that are turning the big 1-0. We, of course, got the Daniel Craig film Skyfall, which, of course, became the first Craig, or I should say Bond movie to hit a billion in the box office. And Skyfall is maybe his best, it may be the best Craig Bond films here. Of course, you had Javier Bardem, who played the villain perfectly. Uh, Judy Dench as M. I mean, this movie is so terrific, very entertaining. Sam Mendes directing this was wonderful. I mean, it is a really decent summary to the Bond universe, and I think of course, it was Daniel Craig's third outing as Bond. Of course, we will go on to get Spectrum, and I mean, and yeah, I mean, the Bond movies have been really great, and Skyfall is one of them. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give that one a go. Also turning 10, we got Lincoln, which I'm of course doing my review for because I'm talking about Steven Spielberg films, so I'll probably talk more in depth on this when I do my review for it. Lincoln is really good though. Dan, of course, winning Daniel Day Lewis his third Oscar. I mean, 2012 was the year for Abraham Lincoln, by the way. You know, Abraham Lincoln went on to slaying vampires, and of course, we had this. So, yeah, a weird and interesting year for Abe Lincoln. But the Lincoln movie is really intriguing, though. Daniel Day Lewis is great. Steve Spielberg did a great job at directing this thing. It scored lots of Oscar nominations, and of course, one for Daniel Day Lewis. It is a really terrific film. If you guys haven't seen it. All right, now the film's turning 20. I literally just saw this one like in honor of the movie's 20th anniversary. AMC was like showing it for its 20th anniversary, so I was able to watch this film in theaters the other night, and that is 8 Mile. Of course, starring Eminem, first ever. This movie, the song "Lose Yourself" became the first rap song to win the Oscar. 8 Mile is terrific. I mean, like I said, I saw this movie on the big screen this past week because I've seen it before, but I never really saw it on the big screen because, well, I was a little too young at the time to see it in theaters. But it's a really pleasant watch to watch on the big screen. I mean, Eminem is great in this. You know, the late great Brittany Murphy is amazing. Directed by Curtis Henson, who also sadly passed away. You had a very young Anthony Mackie, but Guy Pfeiffer was amazing in this. Who does not love 8 Mile? I mean, Eminem is arguably one of the greatest rappers of all time, so him in this, is always a given. I mean, the rap battle scene is great. Of course, the last scene with Eminem facing off against Mackie's character, I thought was great. So much about this movie is so terrific, from the dialogue. You know, you had a young Micah Shannon, which I always keep forgetting Micah Shannon is in this, but Micah Shannon is great in this movie. I mean, it's just really terrific watching. You guys ever seen that? Also turning 20, oh boy, we got Femme Fatale, directed by the great Brian De Palma, director of Scarface, Carrie, Blowout. Yeah, Femme Fatale is not so good. Yeah, you had Rebecca Romaine. Of course, at the time went by Rebecca Romaine Samuels because she was married to Josh Samuels. You had Antonio Banderas. This movie is garbage. You know, if you guys don't know much about the premise, you got Rebecca Romaine, who plays Laurie, who is a member of a crime ring and lifts like this extravagant sets of jewels from a motel at a red carpet event. But instead of like splitting, the loot with her partners, Laurie, flees, and while running the crooks she betrays, she comes across Lily, who's also played by Romaine, a woman nearly like identical to herself. And you also have Antonio Banderas, who plays Papa Rosso in this, who has been tracking her. This, like, yeah, if this movie had became a hit and was great, Rebecca Romaine could easily been a star. But just like how Showgirls ruined Elizabeth Berkley's career at stardom, this sort of ruined Rebecca Romaine's career. I mean, of course, she went on to play Mystique and all, but she does not really have much of a like Right now, she's co-hosting. She's co-hosting that Love Boat thing with Jerry O'Connell, which of course, Jerry O'Connell is one lucky dude. Because he goes home with that every night. But yeah, I mean, this movie is not so great though. So yeah. All right. We also got Far From Heaven, directed by Todd Haynes, starring Julianne Moore, Dennis Quaid, Viola Davis, Dennis Haysbert, Patricia Clarkson. If you guys don't know much about the story here, the film tells the story of Kathy Whitaker, a 1950s housewife living in wealthy suburban Connecticut, and as she sees her seemingly perfect life beginning to fall apart. And Haynes, pays homage to the films of Douglas Sirk from the 1950s and on, and explores like race, gender roles, class of context of 1950s America. Todd Haynes, of course, will go on to do stuff like Carol. He did that movie Dark Water with Mark Ruffalo in it. He has some really cool movies up his belt, and this is a really intriguing film worth checking out. Great performances by the likes of Moore. Quaid is great. Really needs a film if you guys haven't seen it. Anyway, that's pretty much all here. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one, people probably think maybe Skyfall, but I'm going with Lincoln. That movie is maybe the one that stands out to me there. And the 20-year one, obviously, 8 Mile. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simu signing out.